Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, guys. Good to be back. Uh, Welcome to another episode of the All-Pro JAFFOs. Took a little bit of hiatus. Um, had some family time and stuff like that that needed to be done and taken care of. So that was done. We're back this Friday. A lot has happened. Welcome to the show again. My name, your host, JP.
Hey yo.
And with me as always, let me take the loop off that. And with me as always, 610B from the Southeast, Mr. Country Guy.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And the NFL season has been pretty interesting these last 2 weeks. Okay, just gotta say, congratulations to your team being 3-1, 2-0 on the road. Baker Mayfield this last game against the Saints, 246, 3 touchdowns and an interception, not bad. Godwin, 114. Not a bad game. But as a Buccaneers fan, is that game against the Aints really mean all that much?
Well, Baker's 7-2 on between 4 games.
Hold on, before we get there. Ladies and gentlemen, bring him with us.
Woo!
Mizzle from the Mizzle and Dub show, joining us on.
Good evening, fellas.
Right?
So,
I was just telling the Mizzle, Bucks against the Saints, going over that, and I asked him being a Bucks fan, is it something that he's really excited about, or is this one of those games where it's kind of, don't really care? Okay, you were in the process of answering that. What were you saying?
so Baker's 7-2 on the season. 7 being touchdowns, 2 being interceptions. Between 4 games. That's a very good showing, especially how people had him showed to possibly losing all 4 games.
I mean,
So-
and didn't Jameis Winston get into the game?
Yeah, but he only threw 1 pass, I believe, which ended up being an interception in Jameis Winston fashion.
Jameis Winston does what Jameis Winston does.
That is
So-
very true.
But 26-9, I mean, that was pretty handedly done. And, I mean, again, it is one of those games where you look at it and you kind of expect it. It is one of those games you should win. But you said it all the times before. The Saints have always played the Buccaneers fairly well. It being the rivalry game.
No, people had Derek Carr and the Saints sweeping us. Everybody saying that the Saints was gonna beat us. Everybody was like the Saints gonna win the division, all kind of crap. You were included in that, sir. You definitely said the Saints was gonna win the division. For the simple fact of your hatred of Baker. And I kept trying to tell you, I'm like, there's absolutely no way Baker with those weapons, we're gonna lose to these teams. I'm like, one has a toddler, the other has quarterback issues. Yes, they got Bijan. I literally said all this, and everything that I said has came in the past in these 4 games. One has a toddler, the other has Bijan. Yes, he's nice because you kept talking about him at Texas, so I believed you. It's nothing I can sit here and be like, oh no, I didn't know he was gonna be that. No, Josh told me literally for the entire college season last year and probably started the year before when I think he had a big game against Oklahoma when you told me about that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've literally heard you talk about Bijan for 2 years before he got to the Falcons. So yeah, I knew he was gonna be that. So I gave him his credit. I'm like, it's gonna be him and Cordero Patterson, but Patterson ain't did shit the whole time. So it's been Bijan.
Patterson, I think.
I'm gonna say, is he healthy? Is he healthy?
He has zeros across. I looked at him in fantasy because nobody picked him up on my other league that I was in because I was looking for a receiver / running back, try to get one of those guys, and like a flex guy. And
I had gotten him too because
he
I
had
thought
zeros
about
on all
like
games.
he was hurt. He's going to turn into that Joker position that they had been talking about all off season. I mean, I think it'd be one of those. He's got to kind of get back into it because he's been out since what?
I mean, when I looked at it, he was healthy.
Season?
Yeah, but when I looked at him just yesterday, he was healthy on the fantasy thing. So I mean, I think it's just the fact that they didn't really need him because Bijan is doing more than needed because the quarterback ain't worth it now, like I was telling y'all. And the angst is going to be the angst.
Well, I totally agree with you because Derek Carr hasn't shown anything better since leaving the silver and black. It's the same old Derek Carr. Can't put the ball in the end zone in the red zone. He still got happy feet, still making those dumb passes on third down. So,
well, in his defense,
the defense is good for the Saints. I'll say that.
Getting their ass whooped, bull rush by linebackers. They're getting exploded on the Saints offensive line. So I can't really fault Derek Carr because the offensive line is trashish. So what do you expect? I mean,
their offense
he went to one bad situation and went to another. So that's kind of what happened.
And he got weapons just like he did in Vegas. Same production.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because Devontae is definitely better than everything that's in New Orleans right now.
No. No disrespect. I ain't gonna say never gonna put anybody over Devontae, but the surrounding supporting cast that Derek Carr has was a little bit better than he had in Vegas.
You being a Raiders fan, though, let me ask you this question because when I was down with my family, we were watching football and stuff because, that's something that you do in Texas. You watch football.
Yes.
That game against the Steelers. Was it just me? Or did it look like there were plays where Davante Adams looked like he was checked out and gave no fucks about what was going on during that game?
When Jimmy Garoppolo was throwing hospital balls, you tend to want to guard your body in a game, So I would never completely say Davante Adams will never check himself out of a game because that's just not that. That's not him. He's going to give you 110% each and every time. But if there was a time, it was that time that he got blasted when he went up to go try to catch that ball. And he was probably like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. I'm done trying to extend my body out and getting hit.
I know that was kind of nitpicking. He did have 172 yards and both of Jimmy G's touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was a fantasy monster that week. But I did see that there were some moments where, like, there was one a quick screen to the outside, like a bubble screen going to the outside. And most of the time, you could just, as a receiver, boom, you grab it in stride and go.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Devontae, and he just didn't even.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was, I have to give everything to go up and get this. It was just above his helmet.
But just think about that mental he had when he went up and got that last pass and damn near took his ribs out. That's in his head still. So he ain't gonna go all the way up there and get it and expose his ribs again. That was a business decision that we would call that in sports.
After 13 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns, to still see Davante Adams was still frustrated and pissed off after that kind of performance.
If you've seen any of his interviews, that man is not about stats. That's what he will always, because everybody asks him, so how does it feel that you did this? He's like, that was great and all, but did we get the W? Devontae wants to win, and he came from a winning organization. He don't know how this feels right now. It's like he's starting over from his rookie seat, like he's with a rookie, and he's not. Like I said, I said this on our show before, the Mizzle and Dub show. McDaniels cannot coach himself out of a porta potty. And you clearly saw that in LA last week. Josh Jacobs was killing it. And the only way to help a rookie is hand the ball off to your star running back. You're at the goal line, first and goal. And the first play you dial up is a pick play. You got arguably one of the best top 5 running backs in the league, and you decide to run that bullshit. I think the locker room is lost with our coach. You're not going to hear it, but you can see their body language.
And I also saw with McDaniels that post game press conference where he's essentially blamed the whole situation on O'Connell instead of.
But you're calling the plays,
and people were giving him shit. You should have taken some accountability for his bullshit, which absolutely, he should have, because the play calling was not good. But O'Connell, with what he had, 238 yards, 1 pick. It's not a terrible game. It's definitely a below average game, but it's with what you have, it's not horrible, and you only lost by a touchdown.
Yeah. That the defense shut them out in the second half. Remember, the score was 24-7 going into half. The ending score was 24-17. So the defense stepped up.
Yep.
So I do blame O'Connell a little bit, but I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He's a rookie. I mean, he learned what he did in preseason was against 4th stringers, nobody that was going to make a roster. So I'm kind of glad he got that exposure. So now I'm pissed that Jimmy Garoppolo is back from Monday Night Football. Out of rail with the rookie. One more week. Especially,
right?
Yes. Especially when your high star receiver is giving him praise.
I thought he was going to take the job, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, there
was a lot of
McDummy
and hype about O'Connell. That's why I was looking at it going. It wouldn't surprise me if he took over, if shit was going so bad for the Raiders that they just before midseason you'd go, you know what, fuck it, let's put the kid in. The record, we're probably not going to do shit. We're probably looking at maybe a top 5 draft pick. Put the kid in. See what he's got. He did good in preseason, but again, that was against, 3rd and 4th stringers. Let's see what we have so that we can reevaluate going into next year.
I totally agree.
But, obviously it doesn't really matter because I'm pretty sure Josh McDaniels is on the hot seat right now, and he's Vegas's own head coach is the Vegas betting odds to get fired midseason first. And
let him shit the bed. Let him shit the bed this Monday night game. This is going to be the second week in a row. Well, not the second week in a row because we embarrassed ourselves on Sunday Night Football. That was just not a good display of football. Let this team come out there because the Raiders are supposed to thrive on Monday Night Football. That's where we play our best football under the lights.
What's up, Dad?
Let's just. Hey, here we go. Mr. Double himself in the house.
Oh, there's got the feedback.
Yeah, let's get that echo out of here, man.
If I mute him, does that help? Yep, it does.
Okay,
for a little bit.
So let them shit the bed on Monday Night Football. I believe that will be Josh McDaniels. This will be his what you call that? His showing. What can he do if
this really week 5?
This is the same shit we saw last year. I need a different display of football. I mean, I know I'm tired of going through coaches, but me per se, if I was the owner, I would have rocked the rest of the season. But you saw what happened in LA with those fans yelling at Mark Davis. Now that put a lot of pressure on him, even though he responded back. But they go out there and shit the bed one more time, and the defense plays good. We got an offensive-minded coach, and we're one of the 3 teams to not score over 20 points this 4 weeks.
We said it before, and we'll say it again. Head coaching ain't for everybody. It's okay to stay. It's okay to keep your ass in an OC or DC job your whole career. It's all right. No shame in that. You're still making a shit ton more money than the average human being.
North Turner figured that out very fast.
And then now I look at the question of here because I think a lot of us preseason we're kind of looking at them as like a dark horse team, but then others like myself actually pick them as the division winners. Are the Detroit Lions real? And I believe so.
Well,
I still think there's obviously a little bit more to go, a little bit more room to go. But
I agree.
When it comes to that division, it would not surprise me whatsoever if the Lions went and pulled that division out.
Well, I'd like to get Mr. Country K take on this before I chime in on that one. How do you feel about the Lions in the division?
Honestly, I think the Lions gonna win the division, but we're gonna see how they do because that dynamic of Chase Claypool about the Bears and the way them boys played last night. We'll see how that goes. Because I mean, the Washington Commanders, like, I don't know what to say about them either. Because they sometimes they'll be good and sometimes they let the DJ Moore sorry ass go 8 for 1,000 yards. Like, what the hell going on?
I mean, I understand, especially with the Lions, how there's that skepticism because again, the Lions have been bad for so fucking long.
Facts.
That when they show signs of getting good, it's kind of like, are they? Is it? You sure? Are we sure this isn't a fluke? Like this isn't something that we're. But I mean, the more I see of them, the more now I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, the Detroit Lions are going to go and win the Super Bowl. Like they still have steps to go before they're at that point. But Goff has been playing that. Okay, you sent me here to die. You sent me here to kill my career, and now I'm one of the main reasons why it's actually coming up.
Correct.
Correct. I think they're playing on that. They have that grit. They have that head coach that everyone, especially like the working man, can look at Campbell and go, "Yeah, I can get behind that guy."
Straight up.
I can get behind that coaching style, and it's in a city where blue collar is the way of life. So
100%.
I think they've been a good representation of the city so far. They've shown a lot of good signs of growth these last few years. And they're one of those teams that you want to root for. That you may not necessarily be a whole diehard fan of the Detroit Lions, but you can watch them and go, yeah, I can root for this team. Like if my team didn't make it and this team did, yeah, I could see myself going to them for sure.
Well, me and Dub have been riding high, as we previously said, on the Lions the moment they signed Dan Campbell. We knew this moment was coming, so technically I'm not shocked to see where they're at. I'm just like you said, I'm a little skeptical because like this is the Lions though. Yep. You know, this we've seen this kind of story where they be good and it's like they're a roller coaster team. Yep. And so, but as long as the Vikings are playing the way they're playing, I mean the Packers are still doing this, and we see with the Bears, the Bears could be scary. That's 2 weeks in a row that they put a first half of football together, and you like, damn. Granted, they were pretty playing anybody, but you're like, damn. They put up 27, 28 points 2 weeks in the first half. So if they get their shit together, it could be a good matchup. But I got the Lions winning all the way.
Fields finally proving me right. Thank God. Hey, you know what? I was really about to die on this hill, going like, you know what? That's just bad evaluation on me. Own that up.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
These last two games, especially this past, yesterday, he can be good. It's just the situation, the organization is shit, and he takes the brunt of it, like all quarterbacks do. All
Facts.
quarterbacks take the brunt of all the blame, regardless of what the situation is. That comes from
Yeah.
me. That comes from Kay. Sure, that comes from you.
Yeah.
That comes from every single human being anywhere. If the team is doing shit, the first person we look for is the quarterback, and then we look at the head coach.
Yep.
But
the best thing that happened for the Bears is they had to play on a short week. They had to swallow up that bullshit they played Sunday, and then they figured it out like, okay, let's figure out this recipe. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I believe if they had to wait a whole week, it'd have probably been the same outcome, because they had to eat that a little longer. So for that short week that happened, for them to play on Thursday night, that kind of worked out for them. And that's just my opinion on that part.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. But it's now Justin Fields might actually make a case for himself now for the Bears to really kind of see, because now, I mean, they're still fighting with the Broncos for that number one, pick. But
don't worry, my Raiders will be right there with them pretty soon. If we continue to keep playing like we're playing, we'll be fighting for that as well. So don't. We'll be right there.
Here you go.
Well, I'm gonna be the most honest Raider fan that you're ever gonna meet.
Oh, I know this.
You can look at this. Look at this schedule. Everybody was like, "Oh, you should have beat the Chargers because there was no Bosa." But hello, there's still Khalil Mack on the other side. There was no Derwin James. There was that game should have been for the Raiders to take. Okay, they should have beat the Steelers because the Steelers didn't have majority of their players out there. Kenny Pickett never had a multi-touchdown game until he saw the silver and black. Jordan Love will have a Brett Favre game. Watch. Just watch. Aaron Jones is back. I think they got that. What's the wide receiver name? The
Mr.
Christian.
Mr. Watson.
Bruh. That man gonna have a Jordy Nelson type night.
And then now, I'm just going to get it out of the way now so Kay can kind of get that. Look, 49ers are 4-0. I'm not going to start beating the horn or anything now because, again, those first four teams are teams that they should have beat. Had they lost, it would have been worse for wear. Now,
well, they barely beat the Cardinals if you want to be technical. They let the Cardinals hang around.
Still dropping 30 points a game and everything else.
Hell yeah. You got the best offensive weapon in football. I don't want to hear it. You got the best offensive weapon in football.
What? I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. It's at a point in time where they're cruising the first four games because, again, those are games that they should have won. Correct. But now they're playing a Cowboys team who everybody is saying is the similarities, and the defenses are about the same, and the offenses are about the same.
No.
I'm telling you what they're saying. I'm just letting you know.
They must have been watching football because the Niners have the more dominant defense.
Well, it helps when you're only giving up 14.5 points per game, as the Niners are doing.
And you're about to turn Randy Gregory into a star. You're about to turn Randy Gregory into a star.
They fucked up and gave us the Sunday night game, and we don't lose primetime games at home. That you give us the Sunday night game or a Monday night game, you can look down the history. I'll wait for everybody to go ahead and look it up. We don't lose on primetime.
You ain't got it. I ain't got to look it up. I know. I've been watching football and know that. So yeah, that's a fact.
Again, they're giving us all these, and again, the Cowboys these last 4 years, really, have had all the optimism in the world, but then when they play the 49ers, they just don't know how to play football anymore. they come up with the dumbest plays that have ever been seen 2 years back to back.
Ezekiel Elliott being one of them.
Yeah.
Play-
So
Playing center.
it's they just completely forget how to play football against the 49ers. So it's like I don't really have too much of a worry about this game, but I do know one thing. If any, 49er fan out there thinks that this is going to be a shoe-in game that we're just going to walk all over them, if it ends up going the other way, I don't want to hear no crying and no excuses for nothing. I don't want to hear anything because you overlooked them. Don't overlook any of these. But you beat the teams you should beat. You don't overlook the teams that could actually ruin your season.
As the old cliche goes, you want to beat the teams you're supposed to beat and break even against the good teams. And normally that makes for a good season. Normally, as the old cliche goes. I've been saying all week, and even though Mizzle has given me shit for saying it, but I've said all week long that I'm expecting a low-scoring game between these two. I'm expecting somewhere between 17-14, 20-14, that type of score. Just because, JP, you're a historian of the team that we root for. Now, you want to talk about all the great offenses the Niners have had in their history. And we're talking about from Tittle to Brody to Young to Montana to Garcia, etc. This is the first time in their history, through the first 4 games, they have averaged or have scored 30-plus in the first 4 games of the season. And you mean to tell me, in the 77-year history, and that includes the genius himself, Bill Walsh, the architect of the West Coast offense, and he couldn't score 30 in his first 4 games? That's saying something.
I agree, yes, it's impressive. But going back and looking the style of eras and how things were done, we can always play that game like, oh, if Walsh was coaching in his prime and everything in this era now, how would he fare? Or how would Montana do in this, type of, because it was predominantly run leagues back then. They actually valued the running back, picking them at number 1 overall, which you hardly ever fucking see anymore. That's back in those days. So now,
football days,
when scoring all across the board, not just with the 49ers, but all across the board, the league has gone up significantly from, the 1980s up until now. So kind of like, oh, it's the first time in that long. Yes, absolutely, it's a crazy stat, but somebody was going to get it at some point. Whether it was going to be the Chiefs, whether it was going to be the Niners, whether it was going to be some team somewhere with a high-powered offense, it was going to happen eventually. So it's we're on that trajectory in the league right now where the running backs are all of a sudden the most expendable position in football, even though
that makes no sense.
Again, in my opinion, that's probably one of the most important positions in the game of football, especially today, how the game is run, because you basically need to be an all-around athlete at that position. You need to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. You need to be able to run routes. You need to be able to block. You need to be able to run. You need to be the overall best player on the field to play the running back position. And
but
yet,
JP,
go ahead.
What's been the biggest issue in today's NFL? Besides non-contact injuries, what's been the biggest issue in the NFL lately?
Knee injuries, leg injuries, lower body injuries, extremities.
No.
Everyone's Achilles is rupturing left and right.
No.
Filter.
3 words. I'll say 4 words: horrible fucking clock management.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Well, I would say also management and bad play calling and letting analytics get in the way. I would say what you just said, and majority
took over the game.
analytics more. I would say that, but you are right, Dub.
Analytics have taken over pretty much all sports.
And
Because
100%.
if you look at all sports in general, if you go and talk to a veteran in any sport, somebody who's been dealing with football or baseball or whatever their respective sport is for 20 years plus, played at the high level, coaching, all that other kind of stuff. They don't give a shit about the analytics.
No,
it's about the feel of the game. It's momentum.
Yeah, your eye tells you.
Is the biggest key to
Preach.
any sporting event.
Preach,
Whether it be
JP.
baseball,
Preach.
whether it be football. When you are at a sporting event, when the game is close and on the line, you can feel it's the only thing I believe in human nature, period, to where nobody has to say a word, but every single person there can feel what is going to happen.
Yes.
It's that almost supernatural will of things going on in sports that you can just feel it happen. That 28-3 with the Patriots over the Falcons, 28-3, and I'm looking at it. I'm told my brother this. I'm like, there's no way the game is over. Atlanta might put up 40-something points. This is going to look, this is going to be Tom Brady's worst. And honestly, it was after that I was like, we can end the GOAT debate here. It's done now. Montana never got blown the fuck out like this. Like, this is about to get absolutely discounted. And then touchdown number 1.
Yep.
That's still. And then you start looking at the play calling of what the Falcons were doing. It wasn't so much, the Patriots were playing good defense, but the Atlanta Falcons play calling, Shanahan, was not helping the situation at all.
Because what did he go against? What was working in that Super Bowl that he always goes away from?
Running the
Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman.
There it is. Went away from the running game.
Coleman and Devontae Freeman, who at that time were probably the most explosive duo in the entire league.
Cooking.
I think they were probably the main reasons why. And yes, Julio Jones is one of the all-time, honestly, one of the all-time greats. But without Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, Matt Ryan does not get that MVP. It just doesn't happen.
Facts.
Those two were stupid in what they were basically the two prototypical running backs that became the catalyst of what now every team is looking at. You're looking at the two-headed running back system where both of these guys can do it all. And both are kind of a change of tempo. One's a bruiser, one will run you over, one can run around you. Sometimes both of them can do both. It became that catalyst for that type of system. Yeah. So when you saw how the play calling was going around, I'm watching the game going, especially after the second touchdown, going, oh, shit.
This can't happen.
He looked at me and he's like, what? I'm like, he's about to fucking pull this off right now. What do you mean? He's like, what do you mean? No, dude, look what Atlanta is doing.
They're not doing nothing right now in the second half.
They're up 28-3 and they're still trying to air raid the shit. They're not. They have the two best running backs in the league. Again, what were they averaging? Over 4 yards a carry? Yeah. That stat again that came back to haunt Kyle Shanahan. The average yards per carry stat.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I kept seeing that, I'm like, yeah, he's about to come back. This is going to be that whole fucking storybook thing. And now there's no argument I can make ever for this anymore because it's like, well, shit. I mean, yeah, Joe Montana had to do some comebacks, but he never had to do something like this. He was never like
no.
28-3. He never got to that point.
Fuck no.
You know?
No.
Yeah, he never allowed it to get to that point. But nonetheless, you know, he doesn't have that feat. It's just something that the argument was just going to be that there's no point in doing it anymore. And then it's now at a point where that's all getting taken out of the game. Momentum gets absolutely crushed and killed by stupid analytical plays all the fucking time. And you see it from the announcers, especially the ones who have played the game. The announcers going, what are you doing? Why would you call that play? You were just doing this. Everything was working here, and you went and did that. Why? Because the analytics
Joe Staley.
say, in this situation, if you call this play, it's going to work. No, do what feels right in the game. Like, that's what's been completely taken out of it, and that's what's, you know, I think the most frustrating part, especially as a 49er fan, and I know, you know, Dub probably feels the same way. Kyle Shanahan, I think, indulges too much in the genius talk. People, you know, call it like, oh, he's an offensive, him and McVay and all their offensive geniuses, then this, that. And he feeds so much into that he does things out of the, you know, I've talked about it before. He tries to get too cute with certain decisions. He wants to stay ahead of the game, the innovator, that innovative mind. He wants to stay ahead of that game instead of, there's a time and place for everything. There are certain times where it's okay to be a little conservative in your decision making. But then there's other times where you can, you know what? This is going to be what changes the game. This is what's going to be perfect for us. When you want to tweak things and stuff, like how they've based that wide receiver motion to the outside that they're doing out in Miami now, that Tyreek Hill is putting up ungodly numbers, where he's going to put up, where Country K called it at the beginning of the season. If it's going to happen, it's going to be Tyreek Hill, and it's going to be this year. Well, guess who's on pace to do that right now? Tyreek Hill this year, and partly to do with those certain type of motions, those little things that kind of change the outcomes of everything.
McDaniels is a genius, and that was one of the things that the Niners are going to miss a little bit with their play calling, is his style of calling, because that man brain is just outstanding.
I think he learned. I mean, he was already, and you kind of have to be, if you're going to be any sort of coach in the NFL, your IQ has to be up there. You need to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Facts.
Otherwise,
100%.
players aren't going to listen to you. Like, what the fuck are you even saying? Because their IQ about the game is just as high. So you have to have a high IQ. So he already going into it and then learning from Shanahan, picking in that, but then taking those plays, making it his own, and now, man, if their defense got top 5, if they were like a top 5 defense, that's a fucking scary team. That's a scary team. That could be the team that Patrick Mahomes doesn't know how to beat. Like, I don't know what to fucking do. They can score just as much as we can, but they have the top 5 defense that could sit our asses back down on the bench while we just keep watching this onslaught like the Broncos did when they dropped 70 on them. And Daniels didn't want to break the record out of pity for that damn team.
Well, McDaniels is an Eric Spoelstra type of coach. You know what I mean?
I like that analogy, Kay. I like that analogy, bro.
He started in the film room. McDaniels was like a ball boy or something like that.
He
Like,
was the ball boy for the
and then he worked
Broncos.
his way up. He worked his way
I
up.
like that analogy.
Yeah, he probably was listening to Max Kellerman back then, like when he was rapping, because he looked just like Max Kellerman back then.
Stop it.
So
He had the Vanilla Ice records, Marky Mark.
Yes, he did.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
no,
you
he
know
definitely,
Yeah,
he
New
definitely had
Kids on
Max
the Block.
Kellerman record when he was
Oh, yeah.
rapping. He definitely had
Oh,
Max.
yeah.
Eminem
see it when
was
he's
his
walking on
god.
the practice field. He's got that vibe about him. It's like, man, he's too cool because he's just calm and
He's a
collected.
player's
He's
coach.
just him.
He's a player's coach for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Well,
And
I mean,
that's
yeah,
kind
he's
of
a
what you
quirky
have
genius.
to be. You have to be a good.
I like that, Kay. I like everything you said. What you just said, that was spot on.
Yeah.
From the exposure to what you just said right there. I like that.
It's
Like,
one
this
of
is,
those. I think there's a reason why there's about 5 head coaches in the league that you can make an argument of like, man, these guys are the greatest coaches, and these guys are like all sorts of offensive minds and everything else like that. But even the top 5 coaches don't always have the all-around coaching ability, because I think in order to be a really successful coach, not only do you need to be innovative, but you need to be, that player's coach. You need to be able to relate to, you need to be able to communicate with the team. If you don't know how to
100.
communicate with the team, it doesn't matter how good the plays look when you draw them up. Again, go be an OC. Go go be an assistant that helps out and stuff that you can draw up the plays, and that's all you have to worry about. You need to be the overall innovative mind when it comes to the play calling and when it comes to dealing with your players.
Yeah, that's 100% what Miz is going through right now with his head coach.
Facts.
Facts.
Preach.
I personally think, like, I mean, a lot of these situations are different. Like, I feel like the guy we got, our OC right now, is very relatable to Baker and to the players just based on how he's going. Like, every situation is different. Like, McDaniels fits for them.
He does
Like,
fit
y'all,
that
I feel
Miami
like
vibe.
I feel like if y'all got somebody that knew how to win with Shanahan to help him get to that, like, over the hump, then he'll probably do it, and then he'll be able to figure it out from there. But right now, he don't know how to get over the hump. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can't. He fits for y'all, but if he gets somebody to get with him to get him over that hump, then yeah. But
So
I mean,
then
honestly,
I
Todd Bowles fit for us. The offense is our issue.
I just think somebody needs to be in his ear and be like, when he calls a certain play, even though he's the head coach, they need that one person to be like, yo, no,
his pops.
We're not throwing the ball in this situation. The running game has been working. What the fuck are you doing? Run the ball. That's all they need. And if that's the hump that you're talking about, Country K, then I totally agree.
So then let me.
And I hate to say that being a
Dub, let me ask you this then. On that note with it, at what point, if you're Shanahan,
well, I
think his person do you give Brock Purdy the reins to be able to make those decisions?
Ooh.
Well, that's so. Again, I answered your question before you finished it. It comes down to personnel first. You need better receivers. Like, you need wide receivers. You don't have wide receivers right now. Like, Brandon Ayuk, y'all first 4 games, y'all play scrubs. Like, let's be real with it. Like,
no,
we both know.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is actually the first actual real test of the season.
Credit. I can't give him no credit for none of this shit. Like, everybody fucking saying, oh, he's doing up. Like, he ain't did shit yet. The boy ain't did shit yet because he ain't played nobody yet. So I can't judge him.
I'm not gonna lie, Dub. Like, yeah, he's good, but 17 receptions, 320 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 4 games.
Because he got Christian McCaffrey.
That is true.
That's it.
He won the game on Sunday. He won that bitch by himself.
I mean, he does have 80 carries, and that's just running the ball out of the backfield. That's not even getting the ball as a reception. Is 80 carries already in 4 games.
I haven't even heard any
Here's-
stats from Juszczyk yet.
Here's the thing, and I'll close it on this because I'm actually on a date now. But I did say I would come in and give y'all 5 minutes. But I'll say it like this: the object is to win the game. Doesn't matter how you do it. The object is to win. He has been given the offense. Apparently, he is the most that Kyle has trusted to run the offense. He's basically okay. He's managing the game, but he's doing it smartly. He's not making those Jimmy no throws that Jimmy has made in the past, leaving Kittle out to dry and possibly injured. When he's throwing the ball, he's leading it into the receiver. Because again, saying that they don't have no real wide receivers, again, to play in this system, first off, you have to learn how to block. Okay, Rod Smith was not a world beater, but knew how to block and was effective blocking for Terrell Davis. Same with Christian's dad, Ed. Because, I mean, you go back to the earlier years when Elway got there, yes, he had the 3 amigos and Vance Johnson, Ricky Natil, and Mark Jackson, but they couldn't run for shit. And really, Elway's main target during those years when he had TD was Shannon Sharp, not Rod Smith, not a McCaffrey. Now, Rod Smith put up some numbers, and so did Ed, but it was predicated off of number 30 and number 84. Now, again, like I've been saying, everyone's asking where's Kittle. Kittle will have his time. Kittle is one of the best blocking tight ends in football. And then when you think he's not going to
100%.
do something and when you think he's not going to do something as a receiver, that's where he has his receiving game.
Facts.
Ayuk, Debo goes off against the Giants on Thursday night. Because I mean, like I said, and people look at me for saying this, but Ayuk is a better route runner than Debo. And that's
Facts, because he's an actual receiver. Let's just be real. Ayuk is an actual receiver, and Debo is not actually a receiver. Let's be real.
But even
Let's be real.
Even in that case, Ayuk right now, and I think this is where I'm kind of starting to realize where Kay's been coming from. Kay, you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong in my assumption here. The reason why he's saying that they're not like the true number ones, it's like the true receiver aspect of it is because
You guys don't have a Devontae Adams. That's basically what he's saying. You guys don't have a Devontae Adams.
Right.
No.
We don't have that.
Well, this particular offense, you don't need one.
Exactly.
No.
Well, there it is. Yeah.
You need to have, when it comes to the blocking aspects of what we do in this offense, yeah, they're top tier in the league at being able to do that. But when it comes to the actual true aspect of being the number one, it's not necessarily there. It might be interesting to see in a different style of offense, but again, in this offense, they fit. They don't have
Run the
to
ball.
be that style, but it is kind of one of those. I would like to see a couple of games where you have either Devo or Ayuk being that true lineup on the outside, number one style, let the play develop, run the route type of stuff to really kind of show. Because until then, I can't really help make an argument for it to be otherwise. Yes, great run blockers, and for what this offense does, they fit perfectly. But to call them true number ones is kind of starting to fade in my head a little bit because they're just not doing it enough. Like, say, you give me 2-3 games if they do it and they're successful, it's like, oh, yeah. No, I know they can. They just don't need to. I can make that argument going, hey, you can talk about it all you want. I know that they can do it. It's just a matter they don't need to at this point in time. I would like to see more of that. But now they're playing against, a pretty decent Cowboys team. Purdy's leading the league in QBR and a bunch of other, aspects of it. I talked to Caleb, and I know Kay is probably going to be cracking up at this, and I know a lot of people have probably cracked up at this. But when I talked with Caleb about this, I said it wouldn't surprise me, and I'm wondering if anybody else thinks that it could be out of the realm of possibility, where Brock Purdy can be that dark horse MVP candidate that nobody really thinks about until the numbers start to really look at it and going, this shit's actually pretty impressive what he's been doing this entire year. You know,
But
they
he's
said,
the
oh, his
actual
play has
fuck.
been disguised by the defense and all all this other kind of stuff. But when you, again, like I was saying, making the smart decisions, making the right decisions when they need to happen, putting the ball where it needs to be, making smart decisions will help your stats in turn. Trust me, that's how it works. When you do the right thing, your stats start to reflect.
Let's
So,
just rephrase this
Okay, so
question after he
look,
plays the
listen,
Cowboys. That's how I feel.
hold on. So
Before you go, okay, I just want to say I
on.
love you guys. I'm checking out, going on my date, but I wanted to come in real
appreciate you
quick.
for coming on, man.
Always love
Alright,
the
yeah,
invite.
good night,
Love you
man.
guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
so last night I was on Dub and Miz on Dub show, and
Thank you for coming
it
on.
was brought up, and yeah, no problem. And I literally said this same thing because I've been hearing the same crap, and my question was, why would we give Brock Purdy credit if you can literally put any quarterback back there in this system and it's been working? And on top of that, Christian McCaffrey literally won the game last week. Brock Purdy was like a sidecar to that. Christian McCaffrey did everything this last game.
And
Like we,
I
and then
understand that argument, but then it comes to this. This is where I kind of get this answer of, yes, there have been different quarterbacks who have done this system and have been successful. But what is the one thing that even in this system that they have not been able to succeed and get over the hump to that next level? And it's making those clutch throws, the right decisions at the right times, making the throws when they need to be made. That's what Brock Purdy has done better than any quarterback that's been in this system. Even Jimmy G, Trey Lance, anybody else that you put back there.
You can't
like
say
this.
that.
I'm just saying execution-wise, Brock Purdy has made it look a whole hell of a lot easier and a lot better than any quarterback before him in this system.
I mean, I personally got to disagree with you because until Brock Purdy wins y'all a Super Bowl, Jimmy G took y'all the furthest.
That almost happened until he got
twice.
Hurt.
So I mean, you can say all you want to. Jimmy G got y'all to the Super Bowl. He got y'all to the
twice.
Super Bowl. Y'all was in the Super Bowl and y'all was up.
Raheem Mostert got us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the game before.
Ooh,
but Jimmy G,
I can't argue that one.
I feel you. Jimmy G could have been like Jameis Winston. He could have threw 8 interceptions, but he didn't. He threw 8 passes.
Kyle Shanahan heard all the hype saying, "Oh, Jimmy G didn't have to do this."
Before that.
And hearing what I was saying, going, see again, they don't need Jimmy. They always win in spite of him, not because of him.
Yeah, I
get
that
Kyle
argument.
Shanahan
But again, the game
want
before
to do
that,
in the Super Bowl. He wanted to
the
make
game
Jimmy
before that,
look
Jimmy
like the
didn't
guy
throw
and
8
get him the
passes.
Super Bowl MVP to be like, "Oh, I told you so," and look what happened.
Again, you can go on that same rant. I hear you, but at the same time, the game before the Raheem Mostert big game, Jimmy didn't throw 8 passes that game. That was a playoff game as well. Like Jimmy could have literally threw y'all off the rails at any point. At any point, y'all could have not been in the Super Bowl. At any point, if Jimmy was that bad, he could have literally threw y'all off the rails at any moment.
And he kind of did with some of the interceptions and stuff like that he would throw.
Y'all
and that's why I
was
was telling people, like, oh yeah, he's getting clutch, like, oh, they're coming from behind. Well, why were we coming from behind? Oh yeah, y'all forgot about the 2 interceptions that he threw, huh? Like you forgot
No,
about
I
the
don't forget
fumbles.
it.
You forgot about the
Nope.
fumbles and the turnovers, huh? You forgot about all
Nope.
that. That's the reason why they had to come back to begin with. Thank God we have a good enough defense to be able to keep us in the ball games to be able to do that.
I mean, also according to you, what was the boy named McGlinchey? He was sorry as shit. That was an old lineman. You said you had a big ass gaping hole on the right side of your old line.
We
So,
still do.
I mean, you gotta understand your quarterback. If he pressured and he get hurt all the time, he gonna want to get hit. That's a part of that shit too. He don't want to get hit. If he get hurt all the time, you think he want to get hit and get hurt and he out again? That shit fucks with people's confidence and be able to fucking perform. So if your buddy's sorry as shit like you say he is, then that'll fucking scare the shit out of somebody. Every time you say hike, at any moment you might get knocked the fuck off because buddy don't know how to block.
I mean, that's exactly. Hey, people. I know there were a lot of 49er fans who got upset that Mike McGlinchey wasn't, re-signed by the 49ers. That they should have re-signed him. They should. No. He was a liability. He was a liability in the pass game, an absolute liability in the pass game. Now again, there were situations, especially in the NFC Championship game, where the coaching was in the coaching scheme and the blocking schemes and everything on how it was all set up. That was the reason why the injuries happened. But before that, Mike McGlinchey doesn't know how to pass block. I don't know when it comes to pass blocking, he doesn't get it. Hell of a run blocker. Great run blocker. Pass blocking, he's getting our guys killed. That's why they didn't re-sign him. Yes, he's lovable. He's been here forever since he was a rookie, this, and that. Okay. At what point do you go through another quarterback before you decide to go, you know what, maybe we do need to upgrade our pass protection on the right side because we love this guy, but this is the fourth quarterback in 4 weeks. We can't keep going through the free agency pool looking for different quarterbacks and tracks. We can't do this. At some point, it's got to change. So you move on from that.
Your coach pride stopped y'all from winning the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's first. And then secondly, I completely understand about having a gaping hole on the offensive line. Because I had Donovan Smith, and you see what's going on with Pat Mahomes and what the fuck he got going on. Because Donovan Smith is the starting left tackle for Pat Mahomes right now, and he out there fucking shitting the field upstairs.
I thought it was Orlando Brown.
Nope, it's not Orlando Brown. It's Donovan Smith.
Not Orlando Brown. Is it Orlando Brown?
It's Donovan Smith.
It is Orlando Brown, right?
No, it's Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith is starting right now.
No,
I don't believe Orlando Brown is not on the Chiefs roster. Orlando Brown on the Chiefs don't worry, is he?
I don't think he over there. I
think he's.
Or am I thinking about the Eagles?
I think he's in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't even think he's there either.
I don't know. I know it was for Kansas City. It was Brown because again, Patrick Mahomes was getting, for the Jets, he was the reason why Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Brown.
Yeah, that's why you remember that name. Okay. Yeah. So again,
was it? I thought it was. I don't think Orlando Brown plays for the Jets either.
No, it was Brown because Josh was
I don't think it's Orlando Brown.
He did a whole thing.
But it is a Brown. Yeah, it is a Brown. Last name Brown.
Let me see if I can find it.
All I'm saying is, I completely. Yeah, man. I just. Oh yeah. My third point was more a question. The offensive line handbook. Do they say punch the person in the face mask? Asking one Trent Williams. Like, what the fuck he got going on? This man be fighting people now? That's what he want to do. That's a part of being number one.
To be completely honest, That's nothing new with Brown or with
Brown.
Trent
That is
Williams.
true.
Sorry, with Trent
Saying,
Williams.
like-
I looked at Brown right here. It's Dwayne Brown, the left tackle.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He used to play for the
yes.
Chiefs. Now he plays for
Yes.
the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
nah,
I was
Donovan
thinking
Smith,
Orlando
so-
Brown, but it's Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Donovan Smith is a starting left tackle for the Chiefs, and I was so happy when he got the fuck up out of there. I'm not gonna lie to you. So happy to see him go. Please leave. Please leave. He led the league last year in penalties. This motherfucker, we had Brady.
Yeah, for
Like
for
he
Trent
led.
Williams, Trent Williams has always been that type of offensive lineman. Since back when he was with Washington and everything. That shit's been nothing new. He's on that fight when he punched Richard Sherman in the face. He told him, walked up and said, "I'm gonna punch you in the face. Do it." Bang. Punched him in the face.
Yep.
Helmet on and everything. Which, by the way, I don't know if y'all realize this, but y'all look real stupid punching each other in the face mask. Like, what do you think that is going to accomplish by punching
that's
each
what
other in the helmet?
So you talking about Deion Sanders and Andre Rison?
With anybody. Anybody. You're punching the face mask for what? What do you think that's going to do other than fucking up your knuckles?
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, Deion.
And then the one
Here was catching chin.
Was it this last game with the Cardinals and the 49ers with Hufanga and Connor? Connor's talking shit with his helmet on.
Yeah.
Hufanga's got his helmet off, and he's pushing him. He's like, "Oh yeah, real tough shit with your helmet on. You go take the helmet off. Let's see how much of a fucking man you are. Let's you want to be all Billy Badass? Take your fucking helmet off there. Like, but no, we're going to talk, but I'm going to stand behind this guy. It's either standing behind a keyboard or with the goddamn face mask. It's something protecting the idiots from themselves putting their foot in their mouth. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to have your helmet on, shut the hell up.
Speaking as a person that's been in a fight in the game, I'm gonna be honest. The last one I got in, it was a game before the last game of the season. The damn old lineman punched me in my face mask, and I just kind of fucking lost it. Took my helmet off, and was like, "Come the fuck on." Got thrown out the game, and I had to pay like a fine to be able to play in the next game and in the playoff game. Yeah, like it was like I'm telling you, they caught me in video, but just so happily didn't catch him throwing the fucking first punch to set me off like that.
So is a fine like if they fine you, you have to pay it?
Yeah, you have to pay it in order to play, or you done for the year. Like, because that was my first offense. I wasn't like, cause I'm not a troublemaker. Like, I just play my game and I leave. Like, that's all I do. Like, I might talk if I, played against you for years, or like I know you from from wherever. Like, I may give you some kind of communication, but me, like how I play semi-pro, like, bro, I come to the games, like for the game, I do my stretches, whatever, like how we got to be there at recorded time. If I don't have to work, I'll be on time. Play the game and I leave. Like, that's it. Like, I'll be out. I'm telling you, like, I really don't be fraternizing. I don't be there trying to fight. I don't get none of those politics stuff. I don't really give a shit that much. Like, I just play. And I play to win, and I play to whoop whoever's in front of me.
How much is the fine?
Well, that year, that was 2018 when I got in that situation. So it was $75.
Oh, 70. Oh, okay.
But like I said, it was my first offense.
I thought it was like, if they're gonna fine you like $1,000, $2,000, all right, I guess I'm done for the year, y'all.
Fuck no. But in the confines of we're paying, like, based on some teams' registration, it could vary between $200 to $300. You get what I'm saying? Or $350 on some teams, because some teams got like 3 jerseys. You know what I'm
Depending
saying?
on the
Like,
scenario, then yeah, I can understand for that.
right. So just compare them based on $75, and if I paid like $200, you know what I mean? Like that's a good portion of what I actually pay to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? And
oh,
So it's like you got it's almost like a re-entry fee. The same thing to get back into the fucking league is what you
yeah, to
have to
play.
pay.
That's what I said in that
oh.
situation. So it's like I get it. I in that situation because like I said, we were
I
winning.
wonder
We was
what the
whooping their ass.
highest
It wasn't like
fine.
I was losing. Like it wasn't like I was mad that we were losing. I was whooping at bro. I had 4 sacks in the first half. Like I was whooping
Ooh.
their ass. Like
Lawrence
I'm telling you,
Taylor.
we was beating the dog shit out of them, bro. Like we ended up finishing that game beating them like 40 something to like 12. Like we whooped the dog shit out of them, bro.
I love how
Like it
the
was
the
bad.
most random ass football at 12. What the fuck? Where'd the 12 come from?
Right,
Well,
right.
you score 2 touchdowns and you don't get the conversion. Because I
two
remember
two
they
point
scored
convert are the
twice and they
conversions.
didn't get the
Yeah,
conversion.
yeah.
Or the
That,
It's
field
there
goal
still
it
because
just
is.
a
they going for 2.
random ass number that, because when you think about it, it's like some people would think, oh, it's a touchdown with an extra point, a 3-point attempt, and somebody got a safety. Like that's what,
Oh
because when you
yeah,
think
no.
of 2, you think of a safety. Unlike,
No,
Yeah.
I remember
especially
that game because
if it's
it's
12.
relative to the situation because you said about karma. So this was a karma situation. That's why I brought that game up. I had to remember that
Oh.
score because they scored 2 touchdowns and we was trying to rub it in their face by beating their ass. We had to play them 2 games later and they beat us in playoffs, the first round of playoffs, and we had a fucking dope ass team. That was the year I had 20 sacks on the season. Like I was going fucking crazy. Like I
JJ
played
wanted
fucking
that
amazing.
shit.
Like yeah, then we end up. That was just a karma situation. We end up losing to that team and play. And they had every right to fucking run over the field, talk shit, shout, and all that kind of shit. They got whooped on the next game, but it's like for that situation, that was a karma moment because we tried to rub it in their fucking face. Like we literally could have just
Damn.
took off the gas and like just ran the ball or like just you know what I'm saying, like kept it fucking fair. You know what I'm saying? But that was a karma situation for sure. I remember
Ouch.
that because they only scored 2 touchdowns because I remember I was mad as fuck because I was
I
out of the
wonder,
game and they ran the ball 2 times and they was in short range position and I was out of the game both times they fucking ran the ball and I absolute hate fucking giving up rushing yards.
I wonder what the highest fine in semi-pro is. And then
I
I'm
mean, some
wondering
people had to pay
now,
fucking crazy numbers because they don't did wild shit. Some people get banned, like people has been
people get
banned
Damn.
gotten
because
to the
they
thousands before
Ben? Somebody done
in
yeah,
got
I don't
banned?
know if
semi-pro.
it got to the thousands because I feel like they'll just ban them first. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll ban them, like they'll suspend them for like a year or suspend them for a certain amount of time just based on what they got going on. Because people got lives and families, so I don't know if they'll fine them that
That's
crazy.
true.
You get what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So now it's like they switched the rules based off of. I don't think they fine it just simply because like if people get in fights, excuse me, if people get in fights and stuff like that, they getting thrown out of there because people are losing the fields. Like they getting a hard time in semi-pro
If you're getting
getting
fined, then
fields.
you're more than a first time offender. This is
No,
more
I'm
than
not gonna
one
say that.
time.
I don't. I
You
really
get
don't. I
hit with
really don't
something.
think they're finding nobody in the league I'm in. I don't think they're finding nobody because they having a hard time getting fields. So if they're finding out they're fighting at these games, like these schools are taking
Lose
the
those
field away.
fields. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
like yeah, like we had to
all that.
fight to keep our field because the team imploded that we were playing against. They like imploded and fought each other, and we weren't even involved in that shit.
Oh
So then
damn.
I wanted to get into this conversation, and I wonder if you thought about this as much. So it came out not too long, a couple days ago actually. Caleb Williams, either representative or it was him himself. I forgot who it was, but basically saying that he would make more money in NIL next year at USC staying than he would being a rookie in the NFL, even being the number 1 overall pick. So he can basically decide his own destiny of where he wants to go. It's just either way, regardless when you come out, whether it's this year or next year, you're still going to be in a shitty situation because the number 1 overall team is usually the worst team in the NFL. No matter where the fuck you go to, that's just what it's going to be. And he picked, I want to play for the Cowboys or the Niners or this team. And I'm like,
well, those two teams already are not going to be in the top 5 or even in the top 2.
And they already have their quarterbacks.
No, but
one
the
of them,
Cowboys
Brock
don't.
Purdy is the starting quarterback, and yet he still has a roommate, and he's making $90,000 this year.
Right.
He's not even
about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's kind of set right now because he's so cheap for the Niners and he does so well with Shanahan, so he's set. But the Cowboys,
he'll get paid though.
The Cowboys, on the other hand, it's kind of turmoil in the fucking mix. Because if Dak can't win big games, like say Dak lose this game against y'all and he lose big, like he can't do shit against y'all, right? Like say the Niners just absolutely smother this motherfucker and he can't do shit. It's gonna be questions like, what in the actual fuck can we do with you if you can't do shit against the good teams? You can only beat bad teams, and then even then you only putting up 14 points, and our defense got to score fucking 28. Like, what the fuck?
Ooh,
what
that's
are you
a good fact.
That's
a good statement right there.
Like, what is you good for, dude? Like, we gotta get rid of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they'll make an effort.
Didn't they
to try
just
to get
pay
rid of
him
that.
this offseason?
Oh, he got paid.
I don't think it was this offseason.
Oh, he got
it
paid.
was like a year. It was maybe a year or two ago.
That sounds about right.
Full-on 4 or 5 year extension.
No, I think what you think is they altered his contract. If they did something to his contract, they might have altered the contract and gave him more money on the back end. But he already got paid. I think, like Country K said, about a year or two ago.
Okay. But if they modified his contract, they probably fucking because he didn't play up to the standard, and they probably
they wanted some money back. Excuse me.
Speaking of wanting money back and making bad financial decisions, the New York Giants, Daniel Jones is just shit. His ass.
Oh yeah, they dropped the ball on that. They should have paid, even though Saquon. But you know what though? They did what the market was going with. They don't value the running back right now.
The market calls for somebody of Daniel Jones's caliber to be making $40 million a year.
I
disagree with what you're talking about. $40 million is wild, but like you making it seem like, buddy, like you going at it like it's highway robbery, and
it was. Have you seen
well, his performance right now, for the money they gave him in the performance right now, it's highway robbery right now.
They just drafted a number 1 pick. The number one pick they had at tackle, but it was absolute boot to cheeks.
This was one of the biggest finesse jobs since Sam Bradford.
Look, he's bad. He's bad behind that offensive line for sure. I'm not gonna disagree with you. It ain't like he played good. And that offensive line is the only thing bad. No, I'm not disagreeing with that. He's bad behind the offensive line. But that offensive line for sure, like, that offensive line to make any quarterback look bad. Like, that's on some real shit. Them boys sorry as shit. Like, they sorry as fuck for real. The offensive line sorry. So Saquon be having
I believe they regret.
11 sacks.
That's why everybody's saying what they're saying.
And yes, some of those you can blame on the offensive line, but there were other fucking plays. He's just holding on to the damn ball. He doesn't know what to do. He's holding on to it. He's not getting rid of it. He's not, trying to extend the play or like throw it out of bounds. He's not trying to do all of that.
That could also come from him not trusting his offensive line, though, too.
100%. Like I'm saying, the offensive line to make anybody look bad. You gonna not have trust behind them motherfuckers, and then you ain't got Saquon, so they know you passing. They know you passing. They know you passing. You ain't got Saquon. They be like, oh, shit, we know you passing. It's like last year with the Bucs. Like, yeah, Leonard Fournette ain't running
That's
shit.
A fair
we know
assessment.
You passing, Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a fair assessment right there.
Just go ahead and run that shit off for fucking goddamn real, because we definitely coming. And that's kind of what the
Dable,
fuck happened. They got
Dable's
fucking
throwing the
whooped
tablet
on.
at him.
Boy, that was a bad look. That was a bad look between coach and quarterback right there. Because Daniel Jones wasn't even paying attention. And so, yeah, that was a bad look.
Maybe it's because he
all
wasn't
good.
paying attention that Dable said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to talk to you anymore. Take this goddamn tablet."
They gonna argue, and they gonna argue. They gonna do all that. They both getting whooped on. They getting
Yeah.
boy. They getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
They getting
Getting
beat the
beat
fuck
like
up.
you
So
stole something. But when you go to the NILs and everything now, you think they're going to start fining college players for certain activities because of this?
How? When they giving them the permission to go get money. Is the doors open now? Once that NIL thing happened, hell, Kenyon Coleman from the Florida State Seminoles just got to deal with Raising Cane's.
See, I think people blaming the NIL too much. College letting players be in fucking college for fucking 10 years. COVID was only fucking 3 years. They may let
I was about to
motherfuckers be
say,
in college
doesn't
for 10
Miami have
goddamn
somebody
years.
who's on his
They
like?
ain't all NIL. Like NIL, yeah, they getting paid and these kids getting paid, so it's helping the program keep motherfuckers in the stands and seats and shit. So they getting paid off of that. But realistically, like the NIL just came into play. So it's helping the kids get paid
But
and
what
shit.
I'm
But at the
saying
same
is,
time,
who's to stop, or who's to say that the NCAA, because they know how much these players and stuff like that are getting, I think, didn't Utah just give their entire team fucking trucks yesterday?
yeah, but
Saw
that's
that
what
on social media.
that's what I
The
was
University of Utah,
right.
they gave
That's what I sent to
everybody
the
a
group.
truck.
Right. But that's what I was
You know,
saying.
so
I
that's
was
what I'm
saying
saying.
this a
At
few
what
weeks
point,
ago.
who's to say that the NCAA is not going to look at that and go, well, for certain violations,
Violation of what?
whether it's on field or off field, we can start fining these players for that. At some point, it's going to happen, especially the amount of money that these kids are making in NIL deals.
No.
And some of them, even before they even get to college, are making
Don't
a shit
forget
ton of
about
money.
those boosters. Don't
And
forget about those boosters. That's where I think everything is coming from.
booster clubs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but
Start dipping into the NIL money that they can be able to give out and stuff for certain fight. I'm just saying, at some point, with them making this amount of money, if it's so lucrative to the point where Caleb Williams would rather stay another year at USC than be the number one overall pick in the NFL, that tells you the amount of money that they're making. So that's what I'm saying. At some point, for certain violations, I saw it this past weekend. They got up and stomped a kid's head during the game. I forgot who that, either Louisiana Tech or whatever, got above them and just straight up basically curb stomped dude. Suspended him indefinitely and everything else like that. I was like, that should, in the NFL, that would be not just a suspension, but like $100 million
Probably a ban.
fine, a full game check and a half, and like they might garnish your wages for a little bit.
That's
Like,
not true. That's
but
not true.
at what
Kareem
point?
Hunt is playing in the NFL right now. He kicked a female in the head in Vegas. So
And they
I'm not.
signed
No,
him
that's
and
not true.
suspended him, and then now he's back in the league.
Yeah, but
Again,
again, you make it
at
seem
what
like that
point do you
would have
think
been crazy
college
with
is
the
going to
players.
start
So
going that route?
to answer your first statement, as far as the college stuff, like no, for the simple fact of just like I said a few weeks ago, these schools and institutions have to become business oriented. They were business oriented for themselves, but now they have to be business oriented to be able to get these kids. So they have to have more of a business mindset. And that's all Utah showed, a business mindset showing that, all right, now all of our players
They are
have
no longer
vehicle.
academic sports scholarships. They are business investments.
Josh, come on
They
with
are
that bull,
business
man.
investment
Come on,
contracts
bro.
now.
Like, bro, you gotta be like we've been at D1 institutions enough to and been friends with guys that been at D1 institutions enough to know That shit don't mean too much of nothing. These motherfuckers was hungry before the NIL deals. They were
Yep.
struggling just as bad
Yep.
as we were at JC's. So do you
Yep.
know that scholarship shit don't mean nothing? So these kids need their money. So yes, this NIL deal works. So kudos to Utah for doing that because that makes sense. Give all your kids a truck because now they have no reason not to be able to make it places. You're in fucking Utah. It snows there. Like a truck makes sense. So it helps in those
You have
situations.
no
Like,
excuse not to make it fucking anywhere. We got all of you a vehicle.
well, yeah,
We tell
it
you to
makes
be at
no excuse
practice,
for
you need
all
to
of
be
these
at practice.
institutions that get big money not to be sitting here and setting their kids up for their situations. Like,
That's a
that's
smart
the
investment. I agree.
realization. You have to be more business oriented with your mindset. Instead of
Yeah.
complaining about the NIL deals, you have to use that to your advantage. And that's what Deion Sanders was literally showing everybody. And Utah took notice and look what the fuck they did. So
Yeah.
again,
Smart
you got to be
investment.
more business oriented
And it
instead of sitting
brings
here
recruits
complaining
in the
of the money and
process.
effects. Use that to your effect. Get with this company, tag team, and now they're promoting your shit. Now you can use the whole goddamn team. If the team is good, like Utah has been for the past few years, you can use them in commercials locally. There you go.
That is another excellent point.
And
Smart business
now
investment. Smart business
big enough,
investment.
but again, it's a huge investment. Again, big enough an investment for a player to want to even consider not coming out into the draft,
Yep.
where obviously you're going to be making millions of dollars as the number one overall pick.
Well, he's in
But
LA. He's in LA, so locale matters as well. He's in LA, so think about it. He's in LA. He's a big star in LA. You got motherfuckers like
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg that's a
where are
fan
the
of
Rams
USC
right
that's
now?
coming to the games and shit like that periodically, as well as going to the primetime games and shit too. So you have a lot of shit that you're exposed to in LA versus going, say they sorry as shit and he end up
Were the
going to
Rams on his list? On
well,
I
Caleb
yeah,
don't think
Williams?
because he
so.
wants to stay locally.
And
Because
yeah, that's true. Now, the question I have is: does Caleb Williams have? Can you have multiple deals in the NIL? Are you just? Is it just
yes,
one?
Oh no, you
it's
can
just
get like with the different.
long as they not conflicting endeavors.
Oh, see, I didn't know the parameters of the NIL or what you can do with it. So
I
yes,
mean,
he definitely
it's
can probably
fine
make more
as
than
long
being
as they
drafted in the NFL
conflicting
if he has
endeavors.
multiples. So he's probably facts about his statement because he can get multiple NIL, and just like Country K said, he's in LA.
That
He's a
was
star.
basically him saying, "Fuck no, I don't want to play for Chicago. I do not want to play." He's like, he probably looks at Justin Fields going, "Justin Fields is actually good, but because of the situation that he's in, that's why it's all trap. Why would I want to go play for that?" And now you're looking at teams like Arizona, the Broncos. Let's see, who else did that? The Patriots are even in the running for some
The
people because
Raiders.
the Raid. Can I ask something about the Patriots now? And I think it's a safe question given all these years later. Is it safe to say that Bill Belichick was a beneficiary of great quarterback play?
So Tom Brady,
And
yes.
without
I'm
it,
just gonna say if you're gonna say
he
Tom Brady,
wouldn't have been
yes.
able to coach his way to 6 Super Bowls.
Well, it's I would if you're saying Tom Brady, I'm going to agree with that because look what he has done since Tom Brady has left. Tom Brady went off and won a Super Bowl without Belichick. So
And Belichick hasn't even sniffed, like not even gotten close since Tom left.
didn't he go? Didn't Mac Jones go 10-6 his rookie year or something like that?
And then they got trounced in the first round, didn't they?
If I'm, yeah.
Not AFC Championship. There's
No,
nothing like
I could be wrong. I don't think Mac Jones went 10-6 his first.
that. Sounds about right. 10-6 sounds right.
Well, I'm missing the game. They had to go because that's a 17. It was 17 week season, so I'm missing a
18
game in
now.
there somewhere. Oh, that's right. It is 18. Excuse me. So that's what I'm trying to think. So 10-6 can't be the record if I'm thinking his rookie year because
They might have
they
been
were
10-7.
that
10
there it
wins
is.
sounds right though.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah,
10 wins does sound right. So but
but still they haven't
they
done
haven't
nothing
even
much
gotten
since
even close.
Tom Brady left. They ain't done much.
Not even contending for the AFC title or Super
Yeah.
Bowl. That's why it's like. So now they're in the running. The Panthers just got Bryce Young, so obviously they're not going to be in that running.
No.
But they could
Trade it.
go after Marvin Harrison Jr. That's who the Panthers should be looking at right now. Marvin Harrison Jr. That should be top priority number
It's
one for
been
the
a minute
Carolina
since a wide receiver has went that. Has a wide receiver been number one? Was it Calvin Johnson? Was it the last wide receiver to go number one?
That might be the case, yeah. And people are comparing him to Calvin Johnson. They're saying they got his dad. He has his dad's route running ability and hands with Calvin Johnson's size and speed.
Is he that? Damn, he's as big as Calvin Johnson?
He's about 6'3", 6'4", close to there.
Johnson was like 6'5", 6'6".
I think Megatron was like what 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah, he was about 6'6", but Calvin Johnson,
Yeah,
they're saying he's gonna fill out him in like the 200-pound range because Calvin Johnson was like 220, 230, somewhere around there.
just an animal. Just an
And
animal.
that's where Marvin Harrison Jr. is at right now. He's just a big, physical, but he's fast, route running ability, hands. I mean, when your father was, the NFL
The best of the business.
Leader, for
Just say the best of the
time,
business.
you get to learn from the best. So that's definitely priority number one because people were saying if the Bears were going to tank, they actually have it. If things, kind of go the way people were planning, the Bears had a possibility that they were going to get the number 1 and the number 2 overall pick. And their number 1 and 2 pick would have been Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. That would have been the 1-2 pick that would have set the Bears up for the future in the offense.
I don't think they would get Caleb Williams, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either. I think Justin Fields is actually going to play better than, unless they make decisions during like trade-wise, deadline, all that kind of stuff, to basically tank. They're not going to give him any help. They're probably already getting ready to trade Claypool if they haven't already.
Claypool's already gone.
Oh, he's gone already. So then, yeah, no, he's done.
He's down. I believe he's in I think Miami traded for him, if I'm not mistaken.
Claypool in Miami. Interesting.
Yeah.
He's gonna sit the bench there too.
We'll see.
He'll be no better than a number 4.
Yeah. Well, but you got Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Berrios, so that's your 1-2-3 punch right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I believe that's. Let me see. I'm going to make sure that I got that right about him going to the.
They're all track stars.
Yes, it is. It is. Claypool did go to Miami. That's where he's at.
So they only have DJ Moore and Komet. Komet's actually doing good at tight end for him.
Yeah.
Putting out some good fantasy numbers on my bench these last 2 weeks.
I'm getting off my phone.
I have Mark Andrews starting, so and he's doing fine. They come up from there. It's the thing that we need.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So it's now this next year. They're saying it's probably the deepest quarterback pool in a long time. At least.
You know, I think everybody's going to be looking at Drake May coming out of North Carolina. If Caleb Williams ain't coming out this year, it's going to be about, I think it'll be Drake May. He might be the hottest commodity coming out if he decides to come out.
Well, are people seeing something in Drake May that I'm not?
I just think where he plays, that's what's going.
Because I don't know what it is. It's just there's not really a whole lot about Drake May that I look at and go, oh, yeah, this guy's going to be a future franchise, Hall of Fame quarterback one day. Like, I don't.
Possibly because some of the throws he makes.
Right.
That's about the only thing I can.
You got to look at it. You got to look at an aspect of like, look at what he has right now, and look at what he's able to do with the weapons that he currently has. Now, if you put bigger, stronger, faster with him, what is he able to do with the right tutelage? And he get bigger, stronger, faster. Like, what is he going to really become? And I think that a lot of these guys, the quarterback pool is pretty deep.
And I think that's the same reason why the Panthers drafted Bryce Young, for the same thing that Country K said about May. What could he possibly do if he had a little bit more?
That's a taller though.
And but I believe, but you know what though, he's a leader among men. They showed a video. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but they had a video of him, and he was talking to everybody, I believe, on the offense, and they were listening. There was not another person wandering with their eyes or nothing, and that can go a long way. I'm not saying that's going to make him a top 5 quarterback, but just seeing that just shows me another reason why the Panthers drafted him, because I believe they believe he can lead the men. He can take control of that locker room.
I think people are not.
I would have took CJ Stroud number 1. And you seeing that in Texas. And that's the reason why I took CJ Stroud. That man has thrown for 300 yards since week 1. He's going to be something.
I would say I don't think people are talking enough about CJ Stroud. What he's doing right now is pretty damn good.
He on the Texans, and
that's why
we won't see that train really going that far. So it's like, you playing well, but
to be all the more that impressive.
I mean, you playing well, but we know you ain't really going that far, bro. I appreciate it. Like, when you get in the playoffs, then we'll believe you.
That's facts.
CJ Stroud's going to be one of those types of quarterbacks?
Not this year.
I think he'll be good. No, I was just saying that I see the reason. I would have took him over Bryce Butler.
Oh, Bryce.
Well, yeah. I mean,
excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his name is whatever you want it to be because he's still a taller. So all we gonna do is just call him as such. He's still a taller. I don't like he not like, look, until he shows me otherwise, my man ain't finna do a goddamn thing this year. And he gonna have a very bad sophomore slump because, again, all it's gonna do is just the whole division is just gonna get better because I feel like Atlanta next year is gonna get another quarterback. They're getting rid of Ritter. It's over for Buddy.
Ooh.
I actually don't really think that's a hot take. I think that's kind of a logical, that's probably.
And the Saints might get better because they probably get receiver or something in the next draft. But I mean, the Bucs gonna run the division next year too. Yeah, they need another receiver because Michael Thomas, when he played us last week, he ran an out, so he didn't run a slant. He ran 2 routes. He definitely ran that slant.
He's improving. He's evolving. See?
Hey, look. I was surprised because I hit the Leonardo DiCaprio. Look. He ran another route. He ran a different route.
Out route. Can you believe this shit?
He caught that bitch too. Oh man, I'm so proud of him.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's just but I don't know, man. I think Michael Thomas, the reason okay.
The whole league knows.
I think you might have answered this for me before. But I think it's because of my lack of experience with it that I don't really know. And Mizzle, maybe you can give some more confirmation of if you've ever had it happen to you. Is turf toe that debilitating?
Oh fuck yeah.
I've never had that. I can't answer that. So,
Oh
That's what I'm
fuck
saying. Like
yeah.
I've
Hey,
never
bro.
had it happen, or at least I
well,
don't
I'll say
know.
this: turf
I've had
toe,
it multiple times.
turf toe messed up Deion Sanders' career. I would say
Bro.
that's.
I've had turf toe multiple times. That shit hurt so fucking bad, dog. When I tell you, you cannot fucking walk correctly. That shit hurts so badly, bro. So I'm talking about
I'm
so
sorry.
badly.
Hearing it, what a turf toe.
It sounds crazy because it really is completely making the nerve endings in your foot fire off incorrectly because your toe is like completely like disoriented, but the best way I can say it.
God damn.
So your nerve endings is firing off incorrectly and your whole foot hurt like hell.
Ouch.
So yeah, it sounds bad, but I'm telling you, you can't run, you can't back, like you can't plant. Like you don't realize how much you use the front part of your foot just to stop, plant, create power, generate power,
Yeah,
all
no,
kind of shit.
I understand that, but that's what I'm
And
saying.
that-
Like even that, because I mean, I was playing tight end, so I did the route running, I did the blocking, but
Right.
I don't ever recall getting that. That's why I'm really interested to know what it feels like because I don't think I've ever had it. I've never had that debilitating toe injury to where it's like my whole foot doesn't want to cooperate with me. Like I've never had that feeling.
I've had
So
it one
when
time.
again, maybe it's because the name of it just doesn't sound as,
Bad
as
as it
sexy as
actually
an
is.
ACL or some like an acronym or some crazy medical term.
Well, no,
When I
because
think of turf toe, I think of a stub toe. That's what I think. Like you
what
stubbed your toe at the end of the bed. That's what I think when I hear turf
right.
toe.
It's just like I said, just an escalated version of that because again, you can do that and the stub is like, oh, it's over in the seconds. But I'm telling you, like it's just everything's just aggravated. You know what I'm saying? Like your nerve endings are aggravated and they're firing incorrectly, so your whole foot hurts.
Yeah.
So it's like once you get them to like, I guess to put them in a very fucking moronic way, like you just get them to calm down. And then you probably be able to do a few things. But once it gets re-aggravated, that aggravation is like on a whole nother level. So you kind of just gotta
enough to where people are out for like 2-3 weeks because of it. Sometimes
Well,
longer.
no,
Michael Thomas
makes
is
people
out.
it makes people retire. That's the
Fuck.
same reason why Patrick Willis stopped playing football because of his toe.
Bro, forget running. You can't
Yeah.
I was
walk.
gonna say Michael Thomas has missed like 3 seasons because of this.
Well, look, dog, he don't have different injuries. It ain't just been turf toe the whole time. I'm telling you, like he don't have multiple injuries. He real life just he gotta have a medical
and turf
card.
toe. That's what it's always been for Michael Thomas.
It's been all kinds of things. I'm telling you, his back one time, it was a whole bunch of crap, bro. I'm telling you.
Not wanting to play for his current quarterbacks. That's a
Hey,
pretty
look,
big
I
mental
get it.
injury.
I get it. Them boys is butt cheeks. I understand. But
mental injuries are there too, people. You just don't want to play for who you got.
But one thing, I'm not gonna co-sign Michael Thomas, so I'm just need to let this be known and be very clear as a Bucs fan. I am not co-signing anything Michael Thomas got going on. The only thing I am co-signing is the fact that turf toe hurt like hell. I've had it multiple times. I had it one time, my whole foot went numb, and I had to play multiple games with a very numb foot, and it felt like I was running on my ankle, like on just my joint.
Walking on a
Couldn't even feel
nub.
my whole foot, huh?
Like running on a nub.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Peg leg pirate.
Yes, that's exactly what it felt like. Like I couldn't feel
It
my
has
whole
caused
foot,
people
bro.
to retire. It has
couldn't
caused
feel
people
my
to
whole
retire.
That's the only thing I co-sign. Whatever Michael Thomas got going on, that's his business. As long as he keep that shit in New Orleans and do exactly what he been doing to not help the team win, I'm cool with that. Continue to
Sounds
rack up your
definitely
money.
like a
Get
Bucks
your money.
fan.
Get your money for your family. I'm cool with that. Just take their money. I don't care. Long as you continue to not help them win games, I am fine. You see what I'm
Truly
saying?
spoken like a Bucks fan.
Exactly.
Truly
And I'm
spoken.
gonna stay very true to that nature.
Nothing wrong with it.
Let's get into some picks real quick. I mean, the Bears and the Commanders already happened. The Bears surprised, everybody. Yesterday against the Commanders, dropping 40 points to the Commanders 20. Now going into it, Jaguars are once again in London.
We have to mention the reason why the Bears really won is because rest in peace, Dick Buckus. Like, that's really why that's the real reason.
And if my brother won that game. And if my co-host is listening, as he has made a comment, he had said that the moment that the message came out, he was like, I would not be shocked if the Bears win that game. And I was like, because I was going off what they did last week. But now that I'm thinking about it, short week, that happens. Yeah, definitely agree to that. That was a momentum or winning for the Gimper type kind of game right there.
That was definitely one of those moments, and the Commanders, unfortunately for them, were on the receiving end of a DJ Moore 230-yard, 3-touchdown night.
Couldn't stop him.
Oof, bad. And again, the London Jaguars. I'm not even going to call them Jacksonville. They're London.
I believe they'll be moving there pretty soon. Because they play the most games across the pond. They're going to be leaving Jacksonville sometime soon.
London,
I just see it coming.
They would riot in Jacksonville.
100%.
If you think Florida crazy now, take the fucking Jaguars out of Jacksonville if you fucking want to. All right.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's not going to be good. And they're good now. They're good now.
Yeah.
You take them away now that they're good, they would fucking riot. They
100%.
Riot. It would not be good. Do not do this.
But do you see that?
But do you see that though? Wait till they're sorry as fuck again, then do that bullshit. Like, don't do it now. They got Trevor Lawrence. They got shit to go behind. Like, bro, don't do this shit right now.
London adopted them as their team when they were the losers.
Facts. Facts.
London was like, oh, we love this team. You go to London, everybody loves the Jaguars. So, but I do agree. Like, wait till they suck again, because at least the people in London, they don't care either way, because, again, they love the team regardless.
No, not at all. I don't give a fuck about them Brits. I give 100% about my state, and
Jacksonville.
I care about my state and not us looking crazy as shit. And I promise you take them the fuck out of there right now while they good. They are going to riot. It is not going to be good. They sat there and be sorry for all them years. They watched Fred Taylor go through all that shit. Them boys was there through all of that bullshit. And you take them now.
Jimmy Smith.
They was good. They was good a couple years of Blake Bortles and Jalen Ramsey and them. Then that shit blew up very quickly. Yeah. Then they went back to being sorry as fuck again. Now they got Trevor Lawrence, and you take them away. You take them away right now.
Did you guys happen to see the that Toy Story version of the game?
I did chime in a little bit. It was pretty neat. I'm not gonna.
I was gonna say I was actually
not bad.
Impressed how they got it done.
It was better than Nickelodeon. What Nickelodeon does.
Happening live feed. That's what I was like. I'm actually kind of impressed that they were able to pull this off.
Honestly, it was almost like if you're pulling up on your phone the game stat, and you know how how the ball moves and stuff like that, but you just had some form of a computer version.
I wonder if they have fucking like advanced CGI like things in the advanced CGI like type of situations in their jersey.
It was advanced
to be able to fucking track their movements for all of the players. Like, I feel like that'll be dope as shit to be able to do that for Toy Story, to be able to just have that and shit all their jerseys, so they be able to fucking mimic the shit on live stream. That should be dope as hell if that's what happened. But
because I was
Possibility.
looking at the play that Bijan Robinson juke, which I was like, oh my lord, like that man needs to sit on the fucking sideline and just not come back into the game after that. When they put the side by side of how the Toy Story version of it looked, it was identical. Like the way the body moved and he did this, the whole everything was identical.
So Country K, you could be right. They could have did that to the jerseys, especially if because I only seen bits and pieces of it. But if what
the jerseys,
yeah, well, if how JP is describing it, I believe that's something they could have did. I wouldn't be shocked. Technology nowadays is just way ahead than what it needs to be. So that could have happened.
I was looking at that going like, this is pretty freaking insane what they're doing with this. And I mean, the kids loved it. I'm not gonna lie.
You got to remember what's coming up. That was just a test run.
Cool.
That was just a test run. You got to remember what's coming up. This is October. Remember, we still have Thanksgiving coming up. You got all those games. They definitely finna do some shit kids related because the family's gonna be together.
Have some more shit
you got Christmas coming up. They're definitely doing something. And the very next week is New Year's. Oh, they're definitely doing something. The NFL is trying to get all of this fucking
all games. In all games, because remember, we still got a Black Friday game coming up this season too. Well, we'll have football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. This is just get. NFL is about to do something.
Football is nuts right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. So, like, you got the Jaguars and the Bills.
Scoreboard.
The Jaguars because they don't like losing in London either. And so I kind of liking the Jaguars in this situation. Who you guys got?
I'm going to take the Bills because I believe their chemistry right now is starting to gel. And they're starting to get Stephon Diggs the ball more. And if you get Stephon Diggs excited and going, that one pass he took and he just broke through like 3-4 tackles and got to the end zone.
Yeah, they're one good running back away from being legit. If they were the ones who traded and got either Saquon Barkley or Jonathan Taylor, the Bills would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
Ooh. I'll be the lone wolf on that one.
Jaguars.
I think
I'll take it.
I think that flight might get with them boys. And I don't necessarily think
that's
it's just
right,
gonna,
because
it's just gonna dampen their shit. I don't think it's gonna do that. I just morely think they just gonna be like, I don't know how to explain it.
This is
I know exactly how you feel it because Jacksonville didn't come back home. Yeah, Jacksonville stayed. They didn't come back to Florida. They stayed.
I'm talking about the Bills.
So they got a little bit of advantage on that. I didn't think about that.
Look at the Jaguars using home field advantage, even though they're the away team.
I think the Bills gonna come with their offense though. I think, but again, you could get a bad Josh Allen. But I'm sticking with. I'll be the lone wolf. I'll stick with the Bills.
And you got the Texans and the Falcons, both of them 2-2. They're in Atlanta. Atlanta is at -1.5.
That's nasty.
And the over/under is 41.5.
That's nasty. So they say ain't gonna be no defense in this game, really.
Game to watch.
They're basically saying no defense in this game.
And to think one of these teams is going to have a winning record after this week. That's how disgusting this is. Either one of these teams should have a winning record.
It could be a tie. Don't say that. It could be a tie.
Ain't gonna be no tie.
Crazy things about.
I'm gonna ride with the Texans.
I'm gonna
ride with CJ Stroud. I'm going with Texans.
I think them boys gonna put up like 30 points on them boys.
Meaning Texans on the Falcons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that over-under gonna be straight, but it's gonna be like Atlanta gonna have like maybe a 10, and they're gonna have like 30, 36, 35.
Texans about to put that much on, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be like
CJ
that.
gonna throw for 300 again. So this will be another week where he'll throw for over 300 again. So
I think I think I'm gonna go with my Texas guy, Bijan Robinson. He's gonna put it on his back. Falcons are gonna pull it out
He think he
somehow,
on
somewhere.
man.
It's
Look,
I
definitely
think
gonna
you
be
will.
the under.
yeah, he
But
better start throwing the ball. He better start throwing the ball to make his receivers happy. Because Mac Hollins ain't fucking with buddy. He ain't shaking his hand. I don't care.
somebody
That was
give
in the
Kyle
game.
Pitts some love, please, for fantasy
Man,
purposes and for his sake of being on your team. If not, trade his ass, please. Jesus Christ.
man, look,
Doing
they
that
don't give a
man
fuck
service.
about none of that. They about to get another quarterback. It's cheaper to get another quarterback in this draft. I'm telling you. It is way cheaper to get another quarterback. That's what they about to do. A heavy quarterback draft that's coming out. Ooh, Desmond Ritter, you was a chance, baby. Y'all was good at Cincinnati.
Some people have put it out there that there is a possibility that it might be the first time in a long time, if not the first time ever, that there will be at least 10 quarterbacks going in the first round.
Shit.
Look, 10
I don't
quarterbacks.
think it's going to happen based on the team needs and everything else like that. I don't think there's.
That's the first 20 picks.
Yeah, I don't think there's 10 teams that are that desperate for a quarterback in the first round right now.
You got to factor in
5
O-lineman.
maybe, but 10.
O-lineman, good receivers like Marvin Jr. You know what I mean? You got to factor in all those guys. So
and some defense.
They getting another quarterback. Atlanta getting another quarterback for sure. They're not gonna have later than 20.
They're not
They're gonna be number.
Ritter
They're
a
gonna be a
fourth
single
rounder?
digit.
Ritter was a fourth rounder, wasn't
I think he might have been third, but
yeah, round at it.
he was
Those
third or
Whatever
fourth.
happened
One of
to
them.
Malik Willett? Is he still in Tennessee?
Yeah, but that's fucked up.
Yeah, I think he on the practice squad. I think
They
he
did-
the
they
emergency
did
quarterback. Sure did.
That was such a terrible draft class. I told everybody, like, this is the worst draft class in history. It has to be.
Nah, not in history. That's wild. That's wild as hell to say.
Who was the one and two? It was Trevor Lawrence, and who was after that? Zach fucking Wilson, and then nobody else until the third.
But you
round.
making it
Malik
seem
Willis,
like Zach Wilson has somebody to teach him how to be a quarterback.
regardless of the fact, I'm just saying, like, that's probably as a collective, the worst draft class that's ever been produced. It was terrible.
I can't agree with that. I don't know about worse. It's been worse draft class than that as far as quarterbacks for sure. Because again, like I said, if Zach Wilson got promised, especially how you've been playing,
That
you get
draft
somebody
class
that's
had
able to
one.
do something.
Trevor Lawrence, one.
You only saying that off of a couple years of play with Zach Wilson with nobody to teach him how to be a quarterback until now.
Still does it with Nathaniel Hackett, but that's
this is like my Baker argument all over again. You got to let people get a chance to be able to get around somebody that's going to teach them how to play quarterback. You can't just expect them to come in a bad situation with nobody to show him how to play quarterback with a defensive-minded head coach. That's like you don't.
I'm sure Corey Hammond would come in here and tell you Zach Wilson stinks, and I would agree with him.
Yeah, because again, he's gonna sit here and make a few jokes about how he like banging people's moms and stuff like that. He go, you know what I mean? Like Corey gonna make a couple jokes on the stuff, but it's like I said, if you just got to get him to get around somebody that's going to teach him how to play quarterback, bro. And it seems like he learned something from Aaron Rodgers in the offseason.
Facts. I believe he's grown up, because if you saw that clip where he said, I lost us the game, and he went on the podium.
Accountability.
Just last year, he wasn't taking up no accountability. Right then and there, that's growth. Just from a year from Aaron, just tutelage from Aaron Rodgers.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to give people time to get around the right people. That's all it is. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you got to be around the right people and be able to play early and play well and be able to do the right thing. So it kind of like falls into your earlier point, which you was making about Brock Purdy. Like, being able to do the right thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got to get in the right system to be able to do the right thing. Somebody got to teach him how to play. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what happened when Aaron Rodgers got there. That's what it looked like from the outside looking in. It looked like somebody with a whole offensive almanac of how to play quarterback in the NFL and play at a high rate successfully. Just show him how to play because he in a very defensive-based situation where nobody was really showing him how to play quarterback. And
Clearly
now
saw that on Hard Knocks. If you watched Hard Knocks, they focused on that.
We'll see what happens for him.
Yeah.
Panthers, Lions, Detroit.
Lions, easy for me.
That's
Lions.
sweet.
I ain't got to say anything else besides the Lions.
Titans, Colts.
Oof. Is it playing in Indianapolis?
Yep.
Oh, that don't matter.
They got the Titans at -2.5.
Yeah, I'm going Titans.
I think Derrick Henry has a good game on this one. I'm riding the Titans as well. Even though I think the coach might make it interesting, but I still got the Titans.
I think everybody finna go off. Because everybody forget, like Anthony Richardson been
Jonathan Taylor might be back this week.
Yeah, but
he ain't ready though. He ain't gonna make a factor.
He might play like good energetic football and might do a couple plays, but it's gonna catch up. You know what I'm saying?
He might get a goal line touchdown, but I don't see him being a major factor.
So let me take it back because he might. We'll see though, but again,
he might be trying out for another team to trade for him.
Neither one of them guys.
You gotta get him hurt.
Guys play defense though, so we just go ahead and concede to this situation where you got a running back on the other side, and then they also have DeAndre Hopkins. You forgot he's over there. I mean, granted, Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback, but at the exact same time as Ryan Tannehill being the quarterback.
You can have all you want. You don't have a quarterback.
Again, you can say that all you want to, but again,
I think Derrick Henry's gonna make it easy for him
enough. And DeAndre Hopkins played the whole season when he only dropped one pass, so we know he know how to catch. Tannehill really just got to get in his area. He just kind of got to get in his area at this point. And if Kyler as bad as you say he is, Josh, he played with Kyler multiple years, and Kyler's backups.
Ooh. Hell, what did he have when he was with the Texans?
I mean, he had
Deshaun Watson for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Before the allegations.
Yeah.
Before the massage.
So I'm still right with the Titans. I'll still stick with the Titans.
I am gonna go with the Colts.
Lone Wolf in
Anthony Richardson might have one of those games that'll surprise people.
I wouldn't be shocked though. I wouldn't be shocked.
He gonna win a lot of games on the wild factor, and you don't have no tape on him like that. Other than college, and he ain't played that much in college, so you really don't have much tape on him. So that's kind of how he win the games right now.
One of those players that kind of falls victim to, like, once people kind of get tape, it's
gonna. I mean, because it's gonna come down to the roster. Now the roster ain't even strong enough like that. They ain't got a strong enough roster. So once you get tape on the wild factor of him, he out of the way. Now it's like, well, we know what the rest of your shit can do.
That's the Andrew Luck factor.
Well, not necessarily. Andrew Luck was a real good quarterback. I'm
more saying that you were saying the roster. They didn't put the roster around Andrew Luck.
Yeah, the whole roster that they needed around him was 5 fat motherfuckers that need to be right in front of him. They didn't get those motherfuckers lined up.
I mean, they didn't get him no help.
They
didn't get him no help.
Wayne were not bad.
Well, as receivers, yeah, but I'm talking about that old line. That old line.
He had no help up front though. He was running for his life.
If they would have got an offensive line, Andrew Luck could have took them motherfuckers as far as they wanted him to go. He could have been that dude, because Buddy was real deal nice. It's the same thing in Washington with fucking dang on Robert Griffin III. Robert Griffin was nice as fuck. Buddy was nice. If they would have fixed that field and they would have fixed. First off, they would just fix the field. Hey,
facts.
Holy crap! But you saw what the owner they had. You seen who they had. So it's like, what you want them to do? You know what I'm saying? They just got out of him. Like Robert Griffin, real deal, had to lose his whole career. That's sad. I felt bad for bro. I'm gonna be honest with you because he was real deal nice. He was nice. Real
I
deal.
agree.
So
don't disagree with that.
You got a whole bunch of situational offensive line matters, and it affects things. To go back to our earlier point, we were saying about talking about how Daniel Jones and stuff like that. I mean, offensive line matters, bro. If you put a good offensive line in front of guys, then you can judge them accordingly. Like if you have the necessary weapons, like at least decent, they ain't got to be like fucking world beaters. But like I said, in Baker's situation right now, that's to put a very good point to compare to Daniel Jones. Like in Baker's situation, our offensive line is not that good like that. You get what I'm saying? Like they decent though. They not going crazy but they decent. So now Baker has weapons and a decent offensive line. That's the only thing you can judge him on right now. Like, all right, what can you do? This is your real opportunity, and we got to see what you do because we know what these receivers can do. They Super Bowl champions, so we know what they can do. Now, like, you got no excuse now.
Speaking about no excuse and receivers who are possible Super Bowl contenders, the Dolphins versus the Giants. I think the Dolphins are going to actually break the record this week.
They'll get 77. They'll get 77.
They playing the Giants? Holy shit.
Yeah.
In Miami.
Cakewalk.
Dolphins. That's Tyreek Hill probably had 300 receiving.
Well, we know who we all picking, but that shit's gonna get ugly, bro.
Miami is favored at 12.5.
That's being generous.
Now, two things.
That's being generous with that
game. Two things. One, you cannot put this game in prime time. You got to put this shit early morning. That's one. Two.
Oh yeah, it's a morning game.
Two, make sure Tyreek Hill's got his socks on. That's it.
They fight was it 17K?
No, it was just $7,000, which it ain't shit.
Oh, 7K. Okay. Yeah, no, he wiped his ass with that. For not wearing socks. He wiped his ass with that 7K. That was nothing.
No fun league, man. Damn.
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to run like a Kenyan, let him run like a Kenyan. What is the problem?
Like Nelly in The Longest Yard. Running out the snooze.
Yes.
That's how it should. Let it go. Let him go.
Yes.
Outrunning everybody. It's exciting to watch. We might watch a 2,000-yard receiver. Let him go. However,
let him go.
Fuck it. Let's see it.
Let him go.
I hate the fact that that's about to happen, but that's exactly what's about to happen because
you called it.
You gotta.
The moment he said it,
he
said it, I'm like, damn, he gonna get that.
I hate it because
when he announced it,
it's just he's fast. That's all it is. He's fast. That's why he's getting it. It's not like he out here fucking routing people up. He ain't Randy Moss and shit. Like he's real deal just fast as shit.
Go routes, bubble screens and go routes, slant routes.
Like post.
You do all you need right now.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Patriots, Saints.
Patriots against the Saints. Why you gotta pick these games? What the?
I'll go Patriots.
Ooh, well, of course you gonna go Patriots.
Well, no, for the simple fact of the hatred for them, but at the same time, Big Bill ain't going for that because for the simple fact
he got embarrassed last week. You right.
The line is even, like it literally says even, and the over under is 39.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the Patriots. Just yeah. I don't. Yeah, they got embarrassed last week. That defense to show up.
Thank God this game isn't on prime time. Holy
right.
shit! Ravens Steelers.
Whew.
They're in Pittsburgh.
I mean, this ain't.
You know what? I'm gonna fuck around. I'm gonna go with Lamar. I'm gonna ride with Lamar.
This ain't a hard pick. The fucking Steelers suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Lamar.
Yeah, Ravens pretty much unanimous. Eagles Rams.
This might be a hard pick though.
Yeah,
not really a hard pick for me. It's the Eagles.
Well, yeah, in your household.
For for me being able to sleep comfortably and because NFC West purposes. So take division guys out. The quicker we can clinch the division, the better.
Whole house hatred. That's all I heard right now. The whole house hate the Rams right now.
Yep. Now we're doing it. We're a house united this week.
I'm gonna ride with Jalen Hurts because I'm gonna ride with Jalen Hurts because DeAndre Swift is playing damn good football right now, and as long as they continue to feed him, that's gonna open it up for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So
Cooper Kupp
I'll ride with the Eagles. That ain't gonna make a difference.
Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
It'll help. But it'll help. But I don't think that's gonna make a difference in this game. They'll get their rhythm back when they play somebody that really ain't that damn good on defense.
2 weeks down the line, that'll result, but not now.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals,
not right now.
Bengals have been playing like shit.
Bengals and Cardinals, but the Cardinals have been playing positive football.
Cardinals are a little bit better than their record says.
I would agree to that.
In Arizona.
But then again, could this be the get right game that the Bengals need, though?
It's that game that, I mean, let's be honest. Throughout Joe Burrow's tenure, how often have they started off hot? They've always started slow.
Yeah. So could this be that get right game?
And then all of a sudden turn it on and they're playoff contenders trying to go for the Super Bowl. So it could be that game where the Bengals just wake the fuck up and Jamar Chase has 3 touchdowns and T. Higgins finally gets his love and gets 2.
And I need fuck that. I need Jamar Chase to have like 5 touchdowns. Like go crazy. Fuck go crazy. Go insane. Lose your mind.
I'm gonna ride the Bengals.
Look, the reason why I say that is because for him to have the interview, he had the coach fucking celebrate that shit. And like everybody, like, all right, let's fucking go out there and whoop some ass. We got the fucking Cardinals this week. Oh Lord. I need him to have 5. Like, I need them to fucking go
300
crazy.
yards and 5 touchdowns, 15 receptions.
They need to have one of them games where they like, oh shit, we completely forgot about the Bengals. Like, they need to have one of them games. They need to have one of them games. Like, where they just
it could be this one.
Out. It's definitely gotta be.
It could be this one.
It
gotta be this one.
The Cardinals suck. The Cardinals suck, bro.
They suck, but they're a little bit better than, like I said. Their record says that.
Then who?
I don't know what. Jets, Broncos. They're in
Jets, Broncos. Oh, shit. Hey, hatred in the house. Go Jets.
I feel that. I ain't mad at it.
But the Broncos did play some positive football last week coming back.
Yeah,
being down 28-7. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I can't fix my
get let loose. Watch.
I'm telling you.
And they just got rid of Hardy to us.
Gregory,
sorry.
Yeah, you got to remember. You got to understand your new guys, man.
My bad.
Fuck the Niners.
I got Randy
exclusively
Gregory
and thoroughly.
Or Greg Hardy in my head is who I had.
Hey, I second what my brother just said.
Because
I feel the same way about that organization.
Fuck do they even have any fucking assets to fucking trade for anybody? Like they gave a king's ransom for Christian McCaffrey. I'm almost certain they gave the whole goddamn draft away. And then it's like, how the fuck they have anything? They found they got not. I really feel like they gave hypothetical 7th round for fucking goddamn.
We gave a bag of fucking balls and a sandwich for Gregory. That's what we.
I don't know. I don't know
what hypothetical one at that because y'all didn't even have the shit to give. Y'all just said, look, if we did have a ball bag full of balls and a couple sandwiches, would you take that? They say, yeah, we'll take it, and gave this motherfucker to him and gave him a 6th round. Now the Niners got a 6th round pick and a player. I'm like, how the fuck?
We gave up a 7th-round pick and got a better pick, and the player that we. What?
I'm like, how in the actual fuck? Now they got more depth. Look,
That's
and
tanking.
then my fucking
That's
thing
tanking.
is how in the fuck the Niners keep getting more defensive players when King Shanahan can't figure out how to fucking score touchdowns in critical situations. Ain't got nothing to do with the defense. They keep trying to get all these defensive players like it's the defense.
We got to keep the defense strong because we know the offense is going to be giving us some trouble at fucking times.
1000% of bullshit. Look, I'm gonna call all the bullshit in the world. Y'all boys finna sit here and try to have another goddamn excuse.
There is no excuse. They can't
watch.
Look here. They can't have one.
They're gonna have a new excuse.
We know last year if they had a quarterback, that was their excuse last year.
Watch.
If they had their quarterback.
It's gonna be Brandon Ayuk. That's who they're gonna blame. They're gonna blame Brandon Ayuk. I promise you. Watch. They building him up. He the only one they'll blame. Like, look, think about it. Christian McCaffrey doing too well. Now, if he get hurt, they'll be like, if Christian McCaffrey was there, we'll won. That'll be one of the excuses, or they'll blame Brandon Ayuk. That was literally the only thing. Or Brock Purdy will fucking just start shitting the bed, which I highly doubt because Buddy know how to play the system.
I don't see that happen.
That's why I said it's got to be Brandon Ayuk because it's like they got too many defensive weapons. They got too many defensive weapons, or if Cal Bugger drop a pick or some shit, like what was boy named Tart did, like it's some old shit like that. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Like, but I really think it'll be Brandon Ayuk. He'll like drop some shit. Like he'll drop some critical catch or some old shit like that, and they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
That shit.
They'll be like, "Oh my god!" And they'll fucking thrash that boy, and then he'll be out of there in the next couple years. I'm telling you, that's the only. I really feel like that's how it's gonna go down because y'all ain't got no excuse nowhere else. Y'all got so many defensive fucking pass rushers and run stoppers. It's not even fucking funny.
Not even fair. Not even fair.
I'll take it. Chiefs, Vikings.
Still gonna choke.
Fuck.
Chiefs.
Yeah, fucking Chiefs.
Niners, Cowboys.
You picked the Niners. Stay consistent with what I picked last night. I'm
going with the shocker. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. I might have picked the Niners on our show, but I think since it doesn't matter much since me and Dub are going up against each other on the show, I think the Cowboys might shock the world. They might play a decent game of football.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would agree with you if they did not have a quarterback named Rain Dakota Prescott. I would 100% agree with you. 100%. But Buddy right there, I promise you, is not good, bro. Lil Bachata is not good, bro. Nah, I can't.
I agree. I think honestly the Niners will get pressure on them, but I think Tony Pollard can ease it up for him just a little bit.
Tony Pollard finna get hit too. I think you don't understand that part. Tony Pollard is not fucking susceptible to getting hit too. They got a white boy from Florida, and then they got Fred Warner. You making me defend the Niners. I'm honestly mad at you now. Like you're making me mad at you.
I don't even want to defend their ass and say nothing good about them because I've already been saying good things about them. Like, this is my only way that I can sit here and not say anything positive about the Niners.
On offense, the Cowboys don't have a chance. On offense, the Cowboys don't have a chance because Dak not even going to be able to get a pass off.
I understand. I understand.
If he get a pass off, the bets are off because they got a better receiver than the Niners got DBs because the Niners DBs ass. So
Country K.
Let's slow down.
Can I actually? Let me just say this.
What's up?
Let me just have this moment to where I cannot give the Niners the credit that they deserve because I do enough of that shit on my own show. So I'm on y'all show. I'm on y'all show, just trying to not continue to give the Niners their due because I already picked their asses to win the Super Bowl on y'all show and my show.
Let's slow down. I mean, B Rabbit is gonna be Rabbit at some point. He's gonna choke that fucking goddamn playoffs off. It's gonna happen. Round
But it ain't gonna
two,
be sweet because it's
two
I don't
prime
think
NFC
so.
time
championship. He
and
chokes it
Sinclair.
off. It's over
He
with.
ain't losing
They
prime
gonna
time.
choke it off. I'm telling you. I'm like, you got to mark week 5. I'm calling that shit now. They gonna blame. It's gonna be one of those 4 factors. CMC get hurt. Brandon Ayuk drop some critical
Ooh,
moment.
don't wish that on the Niners.
But look,
Ooh.
CMC consistently got hurt at the Carolina Panthers due to overuse.
He is prone.
The Niners are literally overusing the
prone.
fuck out of Buddy right now.
100%.
They overusing the shit out of CMC right now. The man literally won the game last week. CMC was doing,
but he ain't taking that many hits though, because this fool ain't getting touched.
I feel that
he getting easy touchdowns.
I feel that.
But that's right now. Later down the line, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying
y'all
though.
playing sorry ass teams that can't match up and actually fucking defend themselves against y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's morally why y'all having these situations. Well, it's like when you have tougher games, and you actually gotta really game plan. Like, y'all have good games where guys he still gets free and shit, but he also gets hit. Like, those factor in, so he gets hit against those better teams, because they got good coaches and good players over there too, so they able to still hit him. He ain't running free everywhere. You see what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's facts though.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's, you know what I'm saying, by the time y'all start playing these good teams, it's gonna be later in the season. So now his legs are gonna be at the fucking overuse mark. His top of his body might not be, but he's still running those same miles, bro. That's 100%. All I'm saying. That's the only reason why I said that on my list.
No, you're not lying. There's no disagreement in that statement. I totally agree with that.
Out of all these games, you have a rivalry with like the Ravens and Steelers, and like all the games and stuff like that have come out this week. The Monday night game are the Packers and the fucking Raiders.
Well, if you think about it from 2 factors, they expected the Raiders to be better.
This is not a good Monday night matchup. You want to bring people in for primetime TV on Monday Night Football, an American staple, and you give us the Packers and the fucking Raiders? Somebody before this season, before this schedule was put out, literally sat there and thought, you know what would be a really good Monday Night Football game? The Packers and the fucking Raiders.
Well, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers isn't on the team anymore. Derek Carr's not on the team anymore. Both teams are kind of in a rebuild stage. Yeah, let's put them on Monday night.
Faith in Jordan Love, and then they thought that Jimmy G getting back with Josh McDaniels was going to be better with Devontae Adams. That's kind of how they looked at it.
Probably. And it's the Devontae Adams versus the Packers.
Way too much benefit of the doubt.
And it's Devontae Adams versus the Packers.
That's kind of, again, also there it is right there. You got so many stories that there was time with. So it's like they factored that he was going to be playing with motivation like how Khalil Mack did against them last week. Like, it was going to be on that kind of level.
I am not motivated to watch this game.
And I understand why you're not motivated, but we're playing this division because we'll end up playing the Lions and the Bears, blah, blah, blah. But you put 2 historical franchises. That's going to be the storyline. The historical of these franchises. Al Davis, Lombardi, you know what I'm saying? The Wolves, because didn't Ron Wolf come from the Raiders? You know what I'm saying? They're going to build this Monday Night Football game. However, but I'm honestly until they start playing better football and the offense starts to complement the defense, because the defense is a top 20 defense. That's not saying much, but we used to be in the bottom 30. So this is an accomplishment. Yeah. Until the offense complements this defense, I don't see nothing changing. I don't see Jimmy G making any difference with his comeback. I'm picking the Packers. So
damn.
And that's a Raiders fan, people.
Yeah, but then today showed me something different. They're not.
He's mad. He's mad though.
I'm not mad. I am mad, yes, but I'm being more of a realist to watching football. My eye tells me Aaron Jones is going to run up and down the field on us. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but y'all got Jimmy G hurt though. Like he was hurt, so he ain't been really able to get his shit together. He on set, but down.
You're gonna be running like Forrest Gump, back and forth.
Coast
to coast.
I don't see any difference. That offensive line, they can't open holes for Josh Jacobs.
Hell.
They're not doing that. Our tight end ain't caught nothing but one pass. Hunter Renfrow makes an appearance every once in a while. 3 to 4 catches through 4 weeks. No. You're not there. The offense is not showing me nothing. The defense will doing what they've been doing last year, which is shit the pot in the first half, but shut a team out in the second half, and the offense doesn't complement that. I've seen this story, Country K, and until they show me something different, I'm not picking these bastards to win the game. Hell, Justin Fields is going to run up and down the field on us, bro. You're not under – Sam Howell is going to look like Mark fucking Ripken.
Oh, man. So –
and we might win again is the Denver fucking Broncos because for some odd reason, no matter who they got back there, we tend to know how to play against Denver Broncos.
No, that ain't happening. Y'all going to lose again.
Kansas City is damn near going to do a Miami Dolphins on it, and we still got to play the Dolphins. We got to play the Dolphins this year.
Oh, no, that's for sure. Hey, look, two things for sure.
You're not.
So you know what I'm saying? So out of all those games I just named, do you see a W coming to Vegas? Yeah, he quiet. Yeah.
So let me ask you a real rated question because based off of everything how you just saying, who y'all feel like y'all gonna pick overall first pick next season?
I don't know because I don't trust my regime to draft anything right.
They're gonna pick the fastest guy at the draft.
I don't think they're doing that no more.
No, we don't. We'll pick that guy later on. They'll try to get something.
Fastest guy at whatever position they need.
And here's the thing, and I hear Raider Nation, they complain they're talking about, what if the Raiders drafted Jalen Carter? And I'm like, you know what? They can't coach shit. Jalen Carter probably would not be playing the way he's playing. He fell to the right organization, as Country K said. It's how you get coached. He's being coached how to play on the defense. We don't have that type of coach.
He probably would compliment Max pretty well, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, because we do need somebody in the interior. We need some.
Yeah, I think
I don't know, man.
Able to talk to him because I feel like he ready with somebody.
Las Vegas Raider organization.
I don't know.
Well,
I just don't
feel like
think
in this, as far as the pick in the game, I feel like we're gonna pack this one up because we know how Josh picking. Yeah, we're gonna pack this one up. Cheese all the way around.
Yeah,
cheese heads. Yeah. All
cheese heads all around. And I love my organization. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna ride with the ship all day. We sinking yet again, but guess what? Some way, somehow, maybe when I'm old and gray, we'll be above water again, riding in waves. But
this man said old and gray. Good damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us again. We appreciate y'all's patience for us being gone this long, but we're back and ready to go. I appreciate you hanging out. Mizzle, appreciate you for being with us again, sir.
Hey, thank you for having me on the Country K. The Viking will be joining the Mizzle and Dub show. I just got that sent to me this morning, so
all right.
Stay tuned for that.
I'm there.
Oh wow.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yikes.
Thank you.
Sir.
JP for the 610 Beast from the Southeast. That's the Country K. We'll see you guys again next time. Deuces.